Welcome to the Technology Infrastructure Audit of the Fulton County School District. My name is Shannon Evans. You may contact me through my Kennesaw State University email address at sevans21@kennesaw.students.edu. I am an EDS student in the Advanced Track and Technology Leadership Program through Kennesaw, and this presentation is for iTech 8520, supporting technology infrastructure. So throughout this presentation, I'm going to give you an overview of the Fulton County Schools, tell you a little bit about their networking, the telecommunications, the security of the district, and then some recommendations for the district regarding these elements. Fulton County Schools is the fourth largest school district in Georgia. It has a very unique design. It was formerly two counties. Now it is one county, one of which is in the northern part, which is above the city of Atlanta, and one part that is below the city of Atlanta, and the city of Atlanta school system is in the middle. In that area, there are 58 elementary schools, 19 middle schools, 17 high schools, and 7 startup charter schools. So it is the largest system for charter schools as well. Because of the diversity of the county and how it is laid out, the diversity of the students also varies. As a whole, there are over 95,000 students within the county. As a whole, again, 43% of the student population is black, 31% is white, 14% is Hispanic, 10% are Asian, 30% are multiracial, and less than 1% are Native American or Pacific Islander. Now, if you look at a school in the southern part versus, say, closer to Atlanta or the very northern part of the county, you will see a big difference in demographics. And also with things such as free and reduced lunch. As a whole, free and reduced lunch for the county is 46%, and the graduation rate is 71%. When it comes to networking, the networking is outsourced to AT&T, which is through fiber and cable through the internet service provider. Redundancy is very reliable at the district level with centralized backups. Redundancy is high with 99.9% uptime. On the school level, there is more downtime and failure because schools are not fully redundant. This is due to the lack of a diverse path to the ISP. Firewalls are located centrally to prevent hacks or malware or a threat of any nature, and there's a network switch that has redundancy at the district level if there is a problem. The main point of failure that was pointed out by the technicians is that because the schools are not fully redundant, there is not a direct path from the schools to the ISP vendors, then therefore if the MDF closets go down, then they all go down. Therefore, this increases the downtime at the school level because they have to report it to the data center, which in turn reports it to AT&T, who will then send out a technician. There are over 96,000 devices connected to the network. Now this includes printers. This isn't all just laptops and devices and those sorts of things, because we're not quite to one-on-one technology yet. But these are all things that are attached wirelessly, which of course affect the network. All of the schools are equipped with BYOD technology, bring your own device technology, and therefore all users must sign an acceptable use policy. For those for the BYOD, Fulton County provides devices for the students. For most of the students, the broadband system has a great amount of bandwidth, but can be overloaded with traffic. And this could happen because the district has implemented a plan over the past 3 years to provide a 1-to-1 technology for middle school and high school students and a 1-to-3 technology for elementary schools using $189 million of SPLOST funds. Over the next 2 years, the district hopes to be fully 1-to-1 with technology. Now, with this being said, with so many devices, more virtualization and redundancy needs to be looked into to make sure there is less downtime, especially during critical testing times. Now, the schools have their choice of different technologies that they would like, whether it is a Chromebook, iPads, Microsoft Surfaces, or laptops. While they have a choice of which one they use, it must be uniform throughout the school. And all users have access to cloud-based storage and applications through Microsoft 365. So if they go from a laptop to a Chromebook to a Microsoft Surface, they still have that same network to connect to into that cloud. Now for the telecommunications, the communications for the phone system is a voice over internet protocol. And there are two different kinds of telephone systems, which is the POT, which is a plain old telephone, which of course, you know, we are past that, and now we have the voice over internet protocol system, which also has a need for a private branch exchange, or PBX telephone system, which allows calls between users and local lines, users, extensions, and also allows users to share outgoing phone lines. Sometimes when you might leave a message, you might hear this ShoreTel member is not available. That's because this PBX is outsourced to ShoreTel. The email server is through Microsoft 365 and can be accessed from anywhere and any device. All students and staff have email addresses through the district. There are only 2 technology specialists in charge of maintaining telephones, and with a district this big, they might need a couple more just to have things flow a little more. That might be more effective. If the internet fails, so does the telephone system, because it is an internet, voice over internet protocol. And lastly, the Fulton County School District does not have a system-wide learning management system where things are. They do have a website, but not a district learning management system where everything is located in one place and different information can be taken from there. And so that's definitely a recommendation that I will make later in this presentation. When it comes to security, the central firewall blocks certain URLs, key terms within a search engine, and also dynamic content within a page. So you might be on a page and it starts to have an ad for something that's inappropriate, it will catch it, which is of course great after everything that pops up in the media these days. Antivirus software is on every device, and there are constant tests for internal weaknesses. They'll put out a test with malware and those sorts of things to see how the system responds to these sorts of threats. And there are also different levels of clearance from students to teachers to administrators to district personnel. A student, for example, has less access than a teacher, and then network people, of course, have more access than most people, so they are able to get to those areas. Students have unique logins, but they are never updated. Their login is unique, but they are never asked to update their passwords. Teachers are required to constantly change their passwords, and the student data and information is all stored centrally in the data center and sent by VPN from the school. So when a new child is registered or any kind of information needs to be inputted, it goes into the cloud, which goes through the VPN and is stored within the county, and then of course within the backups as well. When it comes to recommendations for the county, one critical aspect that the county really needs is a good, successful learning management system where teachers can access and upload things in the county, whether it's for a testing system or for keeping data that is easy accessible by others. Also, a learning management system that is also friendly for students and parents and teachers. For example, if someone might use Canvas, someone might use Edmodo, and it might be different from class to class. It would be useful within the system from school to school and class to class to have something uniform to use, especially in a county this big. A good idea would be to have a committee that's committed to finding a learning management system that can handle the demands of this county. And it will streamline information and help things be smoother. Security for students and their information should be increased by requiring them to frequently change their passwords. Just like teachers change their passwords, students need to change their passwords as well. There also needs to be a little bit more communication with all entities and stakeholders when it comes to security, and what training needs to be done to be aware and understand the security plan in place. When it comes to broadband and bandwidth and testing, a plan needs to be put into place for when testing is taking place and the system is overloaded with thousands of users all at the same time. For example, if middle schools are all one-on-one devices and they're able to take the milestones on a device through the internet, then it is more susceptible to fail because of all of the increased traffic. Now, on a normal day, regular traffic at one location can be easily handled. But when everyone is engaging in one platform at one time, that's when things seem to crash. A staggered schedule could be the beginning to that, adding more servers if needed. But a plan does need to be put into place for that. And so as the number of devices grow to adapt to the one-to-one initiative, the level of redundancy and virtualization will need to be increased to limit the amount of downtime as well. And this has been my technology infrastructure audit for the Fulton County Schools. Again, I'm Shannon Evans, and that is my presentation.